Welcome to part 2. Now, one thing should be very clear, crystal clear, and that is the fact that the issue of the relationship between the president and his deputy right now is a very sensitive issue now. Now, I hope you realize that it would not have been sensitive kama kungekuwa hakuna kitu. If it was true that all was well between the president and his deputy, there'd have been no manenos. Yeah? In fact, what would have happened is that they would have just laughed off and brushed off the press's inaccuracy. Yeah? The media's inaccuracy over this issue. Yeah? The fact that it is super sensitive just underlines the fact that it is indeed true there is a problem. And the nature in which this latest incident happened, implies or tells us that in fact the problem is very, very serious. That's really what it is. Now, there are two scenarios here, there are two possibilities as to what really happened, what went down in this incident where a reporter was threatened. Both the two possible scenarios start from a leak, a leak within the DP's camp, yes, to the press. By the way, if you want to know a story is leaked, the probability will be that it will appear in the nation. The highest probability is that it will appear in the nation. However, there are a few cases during my career which I've observed where somebody goes to the nation with a story, and for some reason nation decline to follow through with the story. And therefore the person will go to the second option, which is the Standard. Those are the two leading newspapers in Kenya, for those listening to this channel who do not know. Scenario number one, somebody within DP Ruto's camp, leaked that story to the nation. That in fact there's a problem, that in fact DP Ruto was around. Now I want you to understand that within a camp, everybody does not always push in the same direction. It is not common that everybody is reading from the same script. Therefore, a renegade, somebody within the camp who does not agree with the ongoing policy could get very upset. Maybe the ongoing policy, assuming the ongoing policy in the DP's camp is to stay away from the press and solve whatever problem there is in another way. Okay, so that is one option. Somebody leaked the story without the knowledge of the inner circle of DP Ruto's camp. Obviously, this would make DP Ruto's people very upset. And of course, Mugonyi would be very, very annoyed and alarmed at this development. Alarmed and annoyed because it would upset whatever game plan is ongoing. When somebody frustrates your plan, obviously you're going to get upset. That's human nature. To make matters worse, I hope you realize this is a very high stakes game, because at stake is the presidency 2022, the presidency of the Republic of Kenya in the year 2022, supposedly. The second option is unlikely, but it is also a possibility. Or let me just put it simply and say it is less likely. But saying it is less likely does not mean it is impossible. There's a likelihood still, that this is what happened. That the leak actually came from the inner circle, and the whole idea was to cause chaos with the press, so as to send the message to the Jubilee, the Mount Kenya counterpart within Jubilee, that actually the leak did not come from DP Ruto's camp. You want to leak something to the press, but then you want to make sure that your opponents on the other side do not believe that you actually leaked it. So what do? You leak the story, and then you create a fracas like the one we are seeing at the moment. You threaten a reporter on the phone. It's recorded. It is in the public domain. Everybody knows you threatened a reporter. Therefore, your counterparts will say, I don't think so. This thing could not have been leaked by DP Ruto's camp. I don't see how. All these are political games. They are political games which is part of the Uhuru Kenyatta succession. And in my view, they have started way too early. Way, way too early. It's like you're having a quarrel with your wife and you see in the distance there's a forest fire coming in your direction, but it's still a bit far. So you opt, instead of dealing with this danger of the forest fire coming in your direction, you opt to sort out your issues with your wife first, yeah? And then you'll deal with the forest fire first. Not wise. What Jubilee should actually be doing, they should have closed ranks, waachana na hii maneno ya 2022, because the way things are going, they will never get to 2022. Okay, so what they'd have done is to focus on the current issues, yes, especially the NASA threat. Okay, deal with that as a united front, and then later, after they've dealt with the NASA, then they can come back to their domains. Now there's something else here very interesting. When you consider the political games going on at the moment, yes, those who give a lot of emphasis to the political games going on at the moment, which includes myself, yeah, would clearly say that the second scenario I've given, that actually the leak came within and what's going on is some play acting, would be the most likely thing that is happening here. Okay? Now, political games, what am I talking about? Now, for instance, we know that Moses Kuria said repeatedly, yeah, even most recently, that the Mount Kenya wing of Jubilee Party will support William Ruto for the presidency in 2022. Okay? However, it got very confusing on Saturday when the Nyeri Town MP, the controversial Gojiri Wambogu, yeah, the person who went for the Supreme Court, or rather Justice Maraga's jugular, you remember? He had to withdraw a case he was filing for the removal of Justice Maraga, yeah, you know, after the Supreme Court annulled the August 8th presidential elections. Now, Gujiri came out, and the long and short of what he said is that the Mount Kenya faction of Jubilee were in fact not going to support DP Ruto for 2022. Okay? Yani aliongea kizungu mingi, lakini kwa ufupi alisema kwamba the Mount Kenya faction of Jubilee hawata support DP Ruto 2022. That's really what it was. Now we know that both Ngunjiri and Kuria, whatever those two fellows say, has to be taken seriously. Yeah? And even if it's controversial, you can be sure that it's the feeling of the inner circle of the Jubilee Party. And so naturally, both should be reading from the same script. Both should be saying the same thing. Yeah? If it is supporting Ruto, they're going to support, they should both be saying the same thing. Yeah? But here's a case where the two unofficial spokesmen of the Jubilee Party are saying different things. That falls into the category of political games. Yeah? Testing the waters, or even maybe threatening, yeah? Showing the other side that we can also do you harm. Yes? We can also injure your bid for the presidency. Yes? So be careful. Tuliza boli, kuja pole pole. Yeah. That is what it means. So if the other faction in your party plays games, you also play games. Yeah? So, Ngujiri and Kuria play this game. So what is the Ruto camp going to do? Sit and scratch their heads? Hell no. They're going to hit back, yeah, with their own games. Okay? The long and short of it is that whatever the politicians tell us, yeah, it doesn't matter how many denials are coming out. The truth of the matter is that iko kitu ndani ya Jubilee. There is something going on. And whatever is going on has to do with the Uhuru Kenyatta succession. Whatever is going on has to do with DP William Ruto. Now, Ruto si kidogo, yeah? And you have to consider the fact that he has now been cornered, okay? He's between a rock and a hard place. Now, there are two politicians in Kenya who I know, yeah, who operate best. Yani the best comes out of them when they are cornered, okay? One, of course, is DP Ruto. The other, of course, is former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, yeah? These politicians tend to outdo themselves, eh? If you corner them, yeah, if they're in a really tight position and the adrenaline is flowing, that is when the best comes out of them. It's like this soccer player, yeah, and there are many soccer players like that, who, when you field them during a game which is just an ordinary game, they will not perform, yeah. But if you put them in a high pressure situation, they'll do wonders and turn the game in your favor. Yeah, that is DP Ruto for you and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. So folks, get the popcorn out, yeah, and somebody please pass some of that popcorn to me, because the show has started and it has started on a very high note. You know those movies which there isn't much talking, yeah, they start and in the first 15 to 20 seconds already 2 guys have been shot, a car has gone over the river, there's been a car chase, you know, all the action you can expect has already happened. Yeah, in the first 20 to 25 seconds, they've not even settled down. Yeah, so you sit and you wonder, your adrenaline is already flowing, you're already leaning forward to watch what's going to happen next. Yeah, and you wonder, if the movie has started like this, how is the rest of the movie going to be? Yeah, that is exactly the situation. Yeah, this is a movie which has started, and oh boy, oh my, it has really started on a very high note. So your popcorn, let it flow. Until next time, this is Kshs Kumekucha.